So you want to airbrush prime your miniatures? Here I show you how to use your airbrush to prime your miniatures. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, and it's a simple way to get your miniatures ready for paint. Check it out. Hey, welcome back to Tangible Day. If you have a lot of miniatures to prime, using an airbrush is a great way to do it. Here I'm airbrushing some miniatures from Descent, the board game. Here's one of those miniatures. And after priming it, I'm ready to add paint. So the first thing I like to do is secure the model to something so that the airbrush doesn't blow away the model when you're airbrushing it. And what I like using is museum wax. It's a professional way to attach artwork to walls and galleries and such. For the miniature hobby, a little bit of this goes a long way. I've been using this stuff for several years to attach miniatures to painting handles and blocks of wood to keep miniatures from flying away. In this case, you take a little bit out of the jar and attach it to the piece of whatever, in this case a wood block, and secure your miniature to it. It's pretty strong and it'll last a long time. It's a great way to attach your miniatures before you airbrush them. It's also water resilient. So what's the best primer? Everyone has their favorite. I've been using Vallejo Surface Primer for many years. I kind of bounce between two different colors, a dark panzer gray color and a lighter gray color. Depends on what I'm working on, both work fine. A cool feature of the Vallejo Surface Primer bottles is this nozzle that acts as a built-in funnel, and it helps you load primer into an airbrush. I use it straight from the pot, pouring it directly into the paint cup of my Badger airbrush, about halfway up. Depends on how much you need. You could see it sitting in there, that primer. I don't thin my primer with anything, not even water, and I use it straight, just setting the air pressure and testing the spray pattern. Here I spray between 30 and 35 psi. You want an even coat, and right now I'm using a Cool Runner dual fan compressor. I recommend it for any miniature painter who's serious about the hobby. It's not expensive and mine has lasted me several years. Here are some tips using this and the airbrush. Make sure you avoid pooling, and to make adjustments you just have to move your airbrush away from the surface or lower the air pressure. Of course, the size of the nozzle from your airbrush matters. In this case I recommend a 0.3mm or larger nozzle for priming with the airbrush. And what you're looking for is a consistent spray pattern and even flow, as you see here. And once you're ready, just repeat that over the entire model and do one full coat. Allow each coat to dry before adding another. In this case, it doesn't take very long, a couple of seconds actually, just for this piece. Make sure you prime under the overhangs and get under those nooks and crannies there. And the cool part is once you get the hang of this, you can use the airbrush priming method on any model or group of models you have lying around. You can quickly prime and prep your models for paint this way. Oh, I should note here that I'm using an airbrush spray booth, which you can see in the description below. And I do have a micro adjustment valve here that lets me quickly adjust the air pressure through the airbrush. It's pretty useful. Again, I'll link below if you want to check it out. Ah, there we go, an even coat of primer. This is perfect, and now it's ready to be applied to the miniature itself. I like keeping the coats really light, just enough to cover all the plastic exposed bits. You don't need too much for paint to stick to a primed model. One coat's even enough. You can see all the details still really clear. And this is true also with the dark gray primer that I applied earlier. This model is ready for paint. And what do you think? I hope you found this helpful. Let me know with a comment below.